for me personally, I don't sleep at night.
You don't sleep at night?
I wake up to check the markets, and if you are going to allow insider crypto trading, like it's happening right now, we all see it happening.
We all do a little bit of it.
We all do.
What is Web4 about? What is Web4 all about?
No, that I'm not into this.
What is Web4 all about?
That's a good question, actually.
After the big depression in Web3 last year, I decided to check in on my investments and reassure myself that crypto was still fully focused on its core value, making money. So I fly to the most prestigious conference in the world, better than ECC, ETH Global, and Bitcoin Miami Beach. I go to Web3 Berlin, in third world country Germany, to talk to tech founders and other con artists. I go to my first panel to remind myself what Web3 exactly is, but I lose focus and discover the most sane person in the room, the bouncer. Who was this bouncer? So I interviewed the bouncer and taught him some buzzwords.
Parameterized object with the ownership possibility.
Wait.
3D virtual simulation, highly customizable.
Now I'm entering the hallways of the conference. There are more exhibitors than participants. I am now trying to talk to some of the unsuccessful startups to see what still drives them to squeeze the last satoshis out of Bitcoin.
Describe your company in one word. In one word. In one word.
Adopters. Transparent. Blockchain made for trade finance, probably fitting all kinds of use cases.
What makes Flamingo different?
You don't have to identify yourself.
You don't have to identify. So it's the perfect platform for money laundering for me.
That's also a big thing that we consider, that the platform is used for money laundering, but we don't really have any control over that.
Shouldn't we just normalize insider trading and mingling of funds instead of the whole pain of regulation?
I'm not sure if regulating insider trading is the way to go, because then you have a lot of people being at the top trying to extort money from the people at the bottom.
When is Flamingo going to get sued?
We hope never, because we are based in Norway. We escaped the whole American SEC thing, we escaped the China thing, and we also escaped a little bit the laws in Europe.
But outside of Norway, do you think there's any exchange that is operating legally in Web3 right now?
I think you have some exchanges that are paying all the taxes and all the fees and everything they need to do to be a legal exchange. But I also fear that they are not profitable.
So here I'm walking across the booths of several scam companies. I have invested in some of them in the past.
Who can we still trust in crypto? And are there any genuinely good people in crypto?
Yes, I'm sure there are.
Michael Saylor has a tax fraud lawsuit. Miami Coin is 99% down. Bitcoin City is cancelled. And there are mass incarcerations in El Salvador. Why do you still believe in crypto?
I believe because it is a promising tech. A lot of the actual market is based a lot on hype, and we try to change that basically going
You're
forward.
trying to change that.
Exactly. So we're based on utility. You don't have really DeFi protocols which have fancy names, and the only thing you do there is basically farm one of those, pizza token, whatever, cheeseburger token.
So you don't believe in cheeseburger tokens?
So I believe really in real world utility, because there are real world utility use cases.
So you are involved in some of them,
Yes.
but can you give me one example?
The problem is most of them are under NDA, and I can't share them publicly. So
This is the networking area. This is where people without a job are trying to convince people without a company to hire them. How would you describe PooChain simply?
PooChain is a home for all the coins. Me, for example, I'm working in a project, PooGrow.
Describe to me the typical meme coin enthusiast. No, the day, how does he look like?
They are players. The typical meme coin enthusiasts, I think they are players too, big players. Also, they like to see the chat hyped.
We're launching a coin. It's called Quinoa Coin at the end of the month. I can tell you right now, it's a typical pump and dump. But the project's very exciting because many DAO members from the DAOs are going to be involved. And there's a public Discord already, but there's also a private Discord. I can invite you to the private Discord where the actual action happens, where it communicates when you buy, when you sell, not the public one, the insider trading one. If you want, I can send you that also.
Let's see. I think I will check out the community and more.
Again, it's classical pump and dump. Yeah. There's literally no utility.
Do you have Telegram?
I sold my house.
Okay.
I lost 2 boats because of crypto. Michael Saylor brought me into this. He said Bitcoin's gonna go to 100,000, and now we're here, and all of my NFTs are useless.
Yeah, it depends. NFTs have a use case. At this time, you have already the case that if you invest in NFTs, like 90% of the time, they depreciate in value. The main reason why all these kind of tokens, or people are holding their tokens, because they don't want to move them because it will cost them too much in fees.
Can we end this session with a show your NFT? Do you have your NFT wallet with you?
Yes, but I don't have that much NFTs.
There was an update from MetaMask. Since then, all my NFTs.
We have, yeah. What my colleague was just.
Oh, you don't have a personal NFT wallet?
But I.
You lost your NFT wallet?
No, it's just we have. But do you have an NFT, or do you want my NFT, or?
Do you have Azukis?
I do not have Azukis, unfortunately.
Do you have CryptoPunks?
Shouldn't say.
Do you have Bored Apes?
I do not have Bored.
So you're not going to be on the Bored Ape party later on?
No.
I don't know if they're active.
This is your wallet.
This guy could buy the entire conference.
Will you be at the Bored Ape Yacht party later?
I don't know yet for sure.
Okay.
But
Can you bring me in?
we can talk about that in a moment.
Okay.
I'm actually in it for the tech. I like the technology.
You're not in it for the money.
I have made my money already.
Okay, okay.
So now I really believe in how it works.
If it's like a cult, who's the leader?
I think right now the leader is Profit.
I realized Web3 became a cult. Just like Agile. Finally.
Let us get lifted by the spirit of Agile. Scrum ceremonies. Yeah! Scrum poker. Yeah! Alignment meetings. Yeah! So that finally, there is no time left anymore. All right, who's down for gamification?
Yeah.
Let's go.
GM. So this is the entire conference. It's only one floor for both the people who lost money and the people who lost crypto.
Because if you put your money into coins that you don't trust or that you don't really know that they are going to succeed, for me personally, I don't sleep at night.
Now, Flamingo is not just for trading. There's also DeFi use cases.
Sure.
And there's lots of these things. So we have DeFi, DeSci, DePi, DePly, DeMi, DeCry, DeJi,
Correct.
and DeLi.
It's the first time I heard about Web4.
It's first time?
First time.
Okay. So Flamingo is not a Web4 native startup?
No, Web3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Web4, I would like to know about Web4.
Yeah.
That's the next level, probably.